everyone. So, for those of you not familiar, at Snap, the unit of AR content that we use to build lenses is called a lens. So we used to build experiences on Snapchat and Spectacles. Lenses started out with these bite-sized, human-centric experiences where you could put a dog on your face, vomit rainbows, fun things. But as we built them out over the last 10 years, we've been adding more and more functionality, the ability to understand the world in front of you, to run your own ML models, and increasingly to do things like connect to the internet and essentially act like full-blown applications. So one thing we realized is that in order to truly make productive world-class applications on Spectacles, we needed to provide a low-friction way to create scalable back-end infrastructure and make that really easy to do. And so we did that by launching Snap Cloud, powered by Supabase. And I'm just out of curiosity, how many of you guys are familiar with Supabase? Actually, quite a few. So Supabase is an open source, highly scalable Postgres development platform. Their motto is build in a weekend, scale to millions. And they launched pretty recently in 2020, and they just grew like wildfire. They're 90,000 GitHub stars is the most important statistic here. And it's like 1,000 a week. They're very popular. And most importantly, developers love them. Their developer experience is first class. I'll show you what that looks like in a demo later. But the whole idea behind this is, again, with Lens Studio, we want to make things easy to get into. Like right now, you can jump in, you can build a lens purely within JavaScript and TypeScript, preview it, put it on your Spectacles, all in a few minutes. With Supabase, you can do the same thing with the back end. So combining the two together, you end up with a really easy to use full range system. Some of the functionality Supabase provides, it's listed here, authentication, storage, think like S3, edge functions that let you run any cloud computing function, distribute them across the globe, really low latency, real-time connectivity, and then vector queues, cron. For building AR applications, the ones that are most interesting are things like edge functions. Here's an example where let's say you made a restaurant ordering app and you connected to the point of sale system using Supabase edge functions. So you hit add to order, runs an edge function, does something with some third-party backend. That's an idea where Supabase is going to make this stuff really easy, just easing the integration points with other backend software out there. Here's an example of an AR home where you can use our anchoring APIs to set up these various points around your house. And then instead of having to store that data locally, you can store the data in secure Supabase storage connected to Spectacles. So like you can customize it for each user. You can do things like figure out the weather through an edge function, download it back into your anchored weather widget. Another example here is using the real-time connectivity. You can build really interesting games, new communication paradigms, games, something like 35 millisecond latency. And then finally, I did want to talk about the authentication that I mentioned because this is really special. When you log into Supabase using Lens Studio, you're auto-authenticated into Supabase. So a user using Specs, when they end up calling when they access your database, it'll show them a view of that database restricted to that user using their row-level security. And this all happens for free. You don't have to build any authentication system. So now I'll just show you a little bit, some quick examples of what this looks like. Can you switch to the laptop? OK, so here's Lens Studio. And to get this working, all you do is you download the new Supabase plugin, which you see right here. And then you can actually click on this, and it'll open up your Supabase dashboard. This project is called Showtime. And immediately you see it gives you nice statistics and graphs, all the errors you have. On the left sidebar, you get a table editor to edit your tables, create new tables. You have stats on authentication. It shows you what users are logging in. Storage, this is where you see your buckets, edge functions, real time. It's all right here for you. I'm going to do a quick example of a classic hello world. Oh, it's already displaying. So basically, what I want to emphasize is how simple it is to set this up. You import the Supabase project, and then you just call create client, and then here's that authentication method. You authenticate into Supabase, and now you have a backend authenticated user. So I can call this hello world method when that's done. All this does is it calls an edge function just by calling client functions invoke hello world. Well, what is hello world? That is an edge function right here. And if I click on it, I can see the code. All this function does is it returns a message hello followed by the name that's passed into it. I passed in Supabase. So I passed in Snap Cloud. So that's why you see hello Snap Cloud. So the important thing here is that this was really easy. You don't need to be a backend engineer to figure this stuff out. It feels like you're programming on a client. And all the provisioning of the servers was done under the hood in a minute. A little more advanced example. This is kind of I'm going to demonstrate how storage works. So if I go here, I can see my buckets. I have a bucket called test bucket, to which I uploaded just a little GLTF file of a rabbit. And I'm going to pull it out of the cloud, call this function. All you have to do is client storage from test bucket, download rabbit, and there's the rabbit. So this is how easy it is to use Supabase, and we're really hoping you guys try this out. And it really opens up a lot of possibilities for lenses. You can go back to the keynote now. So those examples were really simple. My colleague Atley LOUGHRIDGE is now going to show you some more advanced things you can do with Supabase.
It's loading. All right, here we go. Okay. Let me show you something that bridges the gap between AR and the web. This is our teleprompter lens running live at our annual developer conference, LensFest. When I gesture on spectacles, watch the Chrome extension instantly advance the presentation. In the live stream of the lens, see my slides and presenter notes right where I want them. There's no clicker, my hands are my controls. And on the cloud side, we see real-time communication between Lens Studio and Supabase. The challenge was sub-second bidirectional communication across two completely different platforms. SnapCloud's Supabase integration bridges this gap by abstracting the complexity of WebSocket connection management, message serialization, authentication, and connection resilience in an API that is consistent across spectacles and the web. This is our Lens Studio code on the left and our Chrome extension code on the right. The Supabase API integrations are mirror images. For Google API, we needed Google authentication, which is handled through Supabase Edge functions. We exchanged Google OAuth tokens for Supabase JSON web tokens and then create a private channel. Private channels mean security. Set private to true, and only users with valid JSON web tokens can join. Supabase row-level security policies are enforced. Your lenses can participate in secure, multi-user experiences without exposing channels to unauthorized access on day one. What's incredible for developers, like myself, is the debugging experience. Log into your Supabase dashboard and watch messages flow between spectacles and browser in real time. Debug authentication issues, monitor connection health, inspect message payloads. This visibility transforms how you build complex, real-time lenses on spectacles. Are you ready to build? Explore, yes, yes, yes we are. Explore Supabase package in the asset library along with comprehensive documentation for Lens Studio Supabase integration. We also have a sample project to get you started with Supabase on spectacles. The future of AR is connected, collaborative, real-time lenses. In this lightweight, human form factor, teleprompters running Wi-Fi-based positioning, spatial anchors, hand tracking, Google API requests, SnapCloud Supabase real-time controls, ASR to scroll to how the pace at which you're speaking. I mean, let's hear it, right? And I'm not sure if you saw in the beginning of this video, that was my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter. I have a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and I'm lifting her onto the stage. And this is what I mean by the human form factor. My eyes are always on my children when I'm developing, when I'm trying my lenses, and I really love that about spectacles. It's the human form factor, the human-led design process. Since launch, creators like you have made dozens of SnapCloud lenses for spectacles. And you can see the trend here. Spectacles is living and breathing in the world. We're seeing fetching weather data and assets from Supabase to keep lenses secure and lightweight, a real-time table to make and track orders, keeping API keys safe and rate limits server-side, saving and loading with Supabase so you can iterate on your work over multiple sessions, contextualizing real-world objects with custom dynamic databases and secure user preferences, live streaming and sharing spectacles content to other platforms, and a massive multiplayer canvas for AR stories in the real world, persistent lobbies, generating shared stories, and to quote this developer, SnapCloud is the indispensable backbone for complex, high-immersion AR multiplayer. It allows developers to offload intensive tasks like AI orchestration while maintaining high-fidelity, synchronized AR experience on device, end quote. So please, dive into SnapCloud when you build with Snap. Thank you.
Whoa.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we have 10 more minutes for Q&A. Yeah? Are there any questions from the audience? Yeah?
Yeah, Supabase is extremely good addition to the spectacles that empowers the spectacles abilities. My question is a little bit aside of the spectacles field. Is there any plans to expand Supabase for camera kit or maybe for games on a Snapchat, because it can be like very cool field that you can load more assets, more content into your game or camera kit apps?
Yeah, that's something we're evaluating right now. There's definitely interest there. We think it would be a powerful addition, but we need to do a little deeper look into those use cases before we can commit to anything.
Any more questions? No? Okay. Well, with that, I would say thank you again to both Raj and Atley for this fantastic presentation. And let's take another break for the next session.